Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome in. I had the most juiciest weekend of my life, you guys. I just feel so overwhelmed with nourishment and love and touch and massage and healing, and I feel like I'm very activated and I feel very expressed in my desire for connection. So on Sunday, I had a group of my friends who had hosted this incredible workshop. It was called Steamy, Sassy, Hot Yoga. And so it was like, it was like 7 of us, and we went into this beautiful steam sauna spa space. And basically, we were all steaming together and massaging each other. And after the steam, we did some Thai massage incorporated with some Tantra touch. And so imagine this, like 7 people, fully nude, everybody's super comfortable with each other. Everybody's conscious, respectful boundaries. I was there with my Tantric lover. There was another couple there, and there was 3 facilitators. And so the space was intended for us to explore our bodies, our sensuality, connection with other people that is non-sexual, okay? So can you imagine you being in a room with 7 other people, completely nude, massaging each other, stretching, pulling, touching yourself, soaping up, scrubbing up, having this like really intimate experience, but there is no discomfort. There is no shame around the body about what you look like. There is no feeling of guilt, like, am I supposed to be here? Like, is it okay to do this? It's like an inclusive space for you to explore your sexuality. And so this is like an opening of us bringing sacred sexuality into our connections, our friendships, into our tribe, because that's what the world needs to really heal. Okay, we've become so disconnected from each other. We've become so distant from feeling safe in our sexual expression. And this is why so much of sexuality is suppressed. It's in the dungeon. It's in these like dark kink BDSM scenes because it's underground. So what if we can bring sacred sexuality on top and actually be it in the light and be it a space that's common among our human experience? Because the experience that I had this weekend, it was like, in addition to all the things that I mentioned, we had like tinctures. There was like this immunity boost tincture that they gave us, and like juicy time, like aphrodisiac tincture. We had some really exotic fruits. We like fed each other. We ate off of each other's hands. And mind you, this was like more of an intimate circle. Like I wasn't there with some strangers. There was another couple there that I didn't know, but we were all like a family right away, because once again, like these events are very sacred, and like you're not just gonna have a Joe Schmo off the street who just coming there just to look at some titties. Like that's not a vibe. And this is why, like, if you're somebody who's like walking into these paths, like if you're looking to explore your sexuality like that, it's really good to get clear on your boundaries, to not have any like murky intentions coming into these places, because that's felt, first of all, and you're just not gonna make it. Okay, like you don't just enter these places without, having done the groundwork and the foundation to actually meet people there. Okay, because it is a deep, intimate, and vulnerable space, and everybody needs to be a mature adult and handle themselves accordingly, right? And so we were feeding each other fruits, and then we were like doing massages and slip and slide and like Tantra and Thai, and it was just like this big love mush of people coming together and having this like really sacred time. And then we finished the ceremony with some intentions. We did some hape, and everybody went back about their business. It was just like nourishing to my soul, you guys. Like I give massages all the time. My sessions are like 2 to 3 hours each. Like I am working on people constantly. And even though I do get massages on a weekly basis, it's not the same versus actually receiving touch from multiple people. There was a time where we had a table in the middle, and everybody got to get on a table and receive touch from everyone else. So imagine like 7 people, 1 person on the table, and you have like 12 hands on you at the same time. Like there was just so much connectivity that was felt. There's so much like emotional release that was moving through people, because people are craving for touch, but people are also feeling shame and guilt about asking it, and they don't know where to go to get it. And that a lot of times stems from inability to communicate your needs and actually knowing what your needs are. And so like following that event, my tantric lover who stayed in town with me this weekend, me and him went on like a journey the next day, and like out of nowhere I just felt an inspiration to serve him plant medicine and to receive plant medicine. And then after that we set some intentions and we went into like an tantric ritual in a way. We don't like call it a ritual, but we just went into that space together. And so this is the second day. So first day we did this steamy, sassy, hot yoga, tantra space with the group. And then so yesterday we did a Bufo ceremony together, following which we had a tantric ritual and I received a Yoni Worship from him. And so, so good to talk about this, guys. Okay, so first of all, for those who don't know, Bufo is a type of plant medicine. It comes from a frog. I think it's mostly around Mexico that frog is found certain times of the year. I think like summer months, or maybe just like few times a year that the frog comes out and you catch it, and it has you scrape something off the frog and here comes the medicine. So this is not produced in a lab. This is not like chemically altered. This is straight up medicine from nature. One of my intentions was to do ancestral healing on the mother and grandmother side. So like connecting to the feminine lineage that's in my blood, in my DNA, and bringing in healing to that. And so the big realization that's been landing for me this weekend is that couples in union need to become healers for one another. Okay, it's not just enough to be boyfriend and girlfriend, just hanging out or getting married, starting a family. Like, we're going deeper, you guys. This is a collective consciousness, like awakening, healing, tapping into multidimensionality, because we need to heal. The world is full of sick people, traumatized people, okay? And these wounds are blood, DNA, bones, body deep. And so if we're not doing emotional release work, if we're not doing trigger point therapy, moving things out of the body, it just sits there. And guess what? And then it passes on to your children. And that's not what I want. My desire is to procreate from a place of purity and intention, so that my children can be pure and carrying on the new earth energy as they become adults. Okay, because I don't want my children carrying on, my mom's, my grandma's shit. Same thing for my partner. I don't want my partner to passing on his unhealed trauma to the children, because children deserve a chance of really stepping into this world and staying pure. Because that's what the whole like satanic things that are being fed off like in this universe, they're feeding off purity. This is why there's so much human trafficking and child trafficking in this world, because they're feeding off the purity. A child before 7 years old is the most pure. That's why in human trafficking, they mostly abduct children that are under 7 years old to take their joy in purity, to abuse them, to rape them, to kill them, and then to drink their adrenochrome for their own personal power and empowerment. It's fucking dark as hell, it's demonic as fuck, and I'm here to preserve joy and purity and to pass it on to my children and to the generations above. And so if this message resonates with you, perhaps you are too somebody on this earth who is here to do this work, to do the healing work on your lineage, so then your children can have a chance at a pure existence. Yeah? Okay. And so probably most of you are sitting there like, talk about that Yoni worship, girl. Talk about it. Okay, so yeah, so following our Bufo ceremony, we had like a little integration chat, just kind of catching on what was going on. And then we sat in Yabum and we had just kind of like some breath work and some movements and some like tantric things together. And following that, he offered me a really delicious Yoni Worship. And so I talk about yoni massage on my blog and on my channel frequently. And so for those of you who don't know what is a yoni massage or yoni worship, it's when a divine feminine receives beautiful healing and intentional devotional ritual to her genitals, to her yoni, to her vagina, her vulva, you know, the whole thing down there, okay? And so what makes this very special and unique is, number one, there's a healing intention in it, okay? We're not just fingering, sticking a dick in, like this is not a sexual act. Yoni work is not a sexual like act. Like the intention there is healing. And so you need to begin shifting things, because I think so many people are conditioned like, well, if I'm touching your genitals, it has to be sexual. Sexual energy is life force. It can be activated. It doesn't have to take itself to an orgasm or an ejaculation. And so like number one rule to walk into the path of Tantra is to take away the goal. And orgasm and ejaculation is never a goal in Tantra. Never a goal in lingam massage, never a goal in yoni massage. If you're coming to get tantric massage with a goal in mind, you're already not coming to the right place. And you're definitely not coming to see me, because there's so much more value in that experience than you just getting off. If you want to get off, you can go get a handy for $50 at your Asian spa, okay? Tantric body work is an extensive ritual, spiritual, energetic, and physical body work. It's a modality designed to tap you into multidimensionality of your human experience, okay? And we do that only through intention, okay? Intention is everything. Like I speak about intention so many times, some of you might be like sick and tired of it, but I don't care, because in order to live a conscious life, your life needs to be intentional. You know, going with the flow, seeing what happens, sure, that's cool. That's not how I choose to live, and that's not how I choose to do my work. I'm not just gonna go into a yoni ritual, oh, whatever, let's see what it goes, let me just poke around and whatever. No, there is an intention how you touch, where you touch, and why you are touching it, okay? And so, yeah, my partner was able to worship me in a way that was healing for me. And so he offered me devotional kisses and licks. It was like an oral play. And it wasn't a play. It was like really moving energy through me. Because remember, we just did the Bufo ceremony. So like the medicine is still in the body a little bit. And so the experience was so pure. Like there was just so many soft and tender kisses. He was so intentional with his tongue and where it was, how it was. Like I could feel like him sending me beautiful words of affirmations to my yoni, okay? And like for a little tip for men, how you can know like if your woman is like really open and receptive, like if you're going down on your woman and like her hips are tight, her legs are tight, like she's not ready. She's not open to receive you. Just because you want to go down on a woman doesn't mean she wants it or she's going to enjoy it. You know, I think a big problem in our sexuality is that so many men are goal oriented when it comes to sexual experiences. And it's like the standard play of like making out, taking the clothes off, couple of kisses on the neck, maybe a couple of kisses on the breast, and then you go dive right into the yoni and you just like attack it with your tongue and you just like start blabbering on the clitoris or some other parts, and it just zaps out all the pleasure. It zaps it out, okay? And so oral sex is very different than the yoni worship. Again, different intentions there, right? And so, yeah, he was able to really serve me. And from when a man comes to a woman from a place of service, like she can already feel safe and open up. Because when you're coming to your woman from a place of taking, or from a place of I want to give you an orgasm because I want to prove to myself that I'm this macho man and I can, to a conscious, spiritually awakened woman, that's going to be a turnoff. she's going to be turned off by that because she can feel that. And so, yeah, blessed are the men who serve the goddesses. And there's something important to understand for men is that once you learn how to serve a goddess and you learn how to pour into her and you learn what to pour into her, that will get magnified and given back to you. Okay? It's the loop. It's just the loop of receptivity, giving and taking, and being in the feminine and masculine polarity. And I freaking geek out on feminine and masculine polarity work because it's so, first of all, it's important as hell. Like, we all need to get really comfortable with our opposite sex. Okay? Like, meaning that the reason why I can feel really strong and empowered dealing with men in my work is because I know how to deal with my own man. And my own man inside of me makes me, my feminine, feel safe and comfortable. You know, it's like I am integrated with my own masculine. And so for men, it's important to get really close and familiar with your feminine. And what does that mean is that you get really nice and personal with your emotions, with the waters of the emotions that are moving through your body, because that's your feminine. You get connected to the feminine through your creative expression, through your sexuality, through your sensuality and your body, right? And so like, this is the work for both the men and women in this world, is getting the polarity thing going and balancing themselves out, because that's a path of becoming a conscious human being. Okay, like all this work, like you don't just jump into Yoni worshiping and sacred sexuality if you haven't even read the Chakras 101 book. Okay, like we gotta do some homework, you guys. Like the stuff that I'm talking about here is more on the advanced level. And for those of you who get it, you get it. Some of you might be confused. If you're a little bit confused, please check out my profile. Like every single post on my Tantra Instagram is with intention to educate you. Okay, so think of it like I'm not just here randomly posting. I post maybe like once a week when I feel inspired, but every post on my whole platform has knowledge and wisdom for you to integrate into your life. So I invite you to take some time and go check it out. Make sure you like and comment and save so that I can receive some credit for that. And so, yeah, so my Yoni worshiping like finished with, so first of all, he did not like take me to ejaculation or an orgasm. That was not an intention. And in fact, like I didn't even want it, because what happened was like we rode the waves. Like there was like 3 waves that he took me through, meaning that there was time when he slowed things down and he just offered like soft sensual kisses. And like, mind you, kisses on the vulva and like the forehead and the inner thighs, like just kisses, so sensual, so erotic, and so innocent. It's so innocent and it's so easy. Like men probably think like they need to be like drilling their tongues over the clitoris, when in reality, like soften up your lips, relax your fucking jaw, relax your tongue, and give your love, your presence, your love, your mouth with devotion, with intention to serve her pleasure. Okay? You don't need to serve her to an orgasm unless that's your intention, right? And so, yeah, we finished the session with some cuddling and with some integration conversation. And I just, during that experience, I understood how important it is for couples to practice sacred sexuality and Yoni and Lingam worshiping rituals. Okay, because we're not just lovers, you guys. I'm going to continue saying this because this is the download that I'm getting, is that we are also healers for each other. Okay, and it's very different receiving Yoni work from your intimate partner versus going and getting it from a practitioner such as myself. I mean, with me, it'll be amazing, of course, yet it's a different energy. Right? Like with your intimate partner, there's a little more safety, you feel more comfortable, you have your own space, you have your bed, whatever you need, right? Versus with practitioner, it's a different energy. They're holding space for you. There's different hands on you. You might not feel as safe or comfortable, although you should. If you're getting a Yoni or Lingam massage, you should definitely feel safe and comfortable with whoever's facilitating your experience, because it can also cause trauma. Because if you're with a facilitator who doesn't have consent, doesn't have good boundaries, and does something that you don't like, that can actually leave, especially for women, even more trauma than what you came for, okay? Because remember, energy, emotions, memories for women especially are stored in their yoni. And so if a woman had rape, abuse, if she lost a child, if there has been like really intense things on her mom's, her grandma's side, and basically like all that is stored inside the vagina. Like the vagina, the muscles of the vagina just have so many ridges and it can expand so much. It literally holds freaking everything, okay? And so we need to be a lot more careful with whom we're letting into our bodies and what type of energies they're bringing with them, okay? And so at the end of all of this, you know, I realized like, I'm so grateful to be in a place where I have a tantric lover and a healer, you know, with whom I can connect this way. I'm realizing like, this is not for everyone. Like, you know, I'm dating another guy and he's like in a completely different field of work. And I'm thinking like, this guy doesn't even know what the word worship means. But at the same time, he has something of a different value that he brings into my life. And so for me, like as I'm dabbling between like, you know, being monogamous, being poly, being open, I'm realizing like perhaps I'm a woman who needs multiple lovers to be fulfilled. Because for me, it's not just about the sex. Like I can have amazing sex with a man, right? But that man might have no idea how to worship my body and how to bring healing to my body. He knows how to fuck me and don't mind me, but like fucking also feels good. And sometimes I just like to get fucked. But there are many times when I crave sensuality, connection, depth. I crave for my partner to actually listen to my body and my needs. Because many times men use women as masturbation tools. And that doesn't feel pretty. And as a woman, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And as a man, you too know exactly what I'm talking about when you're using your woman as a masturbation tool rather than a goddess to serve. Okay? And so yes, the body is a temple. The yoni is the sacred gates of the temple. Those who are ready and pure shall be allowed to enter those gates. That's right, sacred energy exchange. Thank you so much for sharing that. So yeah, I had such a juicy weekend. I had an amazing plant medicine Bufo ceremony following an incredible Yoni worship. I'm so grateful for my partner for offering that to me and for serving me in this way. And this is an invitation for you guys who's tuning in and who's listening, is to start doing the work, okay? Because there's so much more love available in this world. There are so many more amazing, deep, intimate experiences that are possible. You know, we just need to open ourselves up to enter into these realms. And so on that note, you guys, thank you so much for everyone who has tuned in. It's been such a pleasure sharing this potent transmission with each and every one of you. And until we see each other next time, much love.